Welcome back to Cozy Vlogs. My name is Kristen. If you're new, if you're not new, then thank you so much for joining back in today. It's great to have you here. I have something so fun planned for today. We are gonna do 4 different Halloween DIY treats. You can take them to a Halloween party or just do it as a fun, cozy activity with your friends and family this spooky season. They are very easy to recreate and they're super tasty, at least the ones that I test baked yesterday. And let me tell you, only half a cookie is left. Crystal ate most of the cookies already and they were very good. I did taste some myself. But we're not only gonna do cookies today, we're also gonna do copycat Reese's pumpkins. And I'm so excited to have you here baking some spooky treats with me. So get yourself a nice cup of coffee or tea, get cozy, and let's get baking. We're gonna start by making all the cookie doughs because they have to chill for a little bit. And so if we do them first, while they're chilling, we can do the Reese's pumpkins in that time. So I think that is a good approach. So let's start by making the monster cookie dough because we're gonna use that monster cookie dough for 2 types of cookies, for the mummy cookies and for the monster cookies. It's the same type of dough, just the add-ins or toppings are different. Okay, so I have the monster cookie or mummy cookie recipe here. I'm just gonna do a single batch of this. If you want a larger quantity of cookies, I recommend that you double this recipe. One of this recipe will get you about 12 to 18 cookies. And if you're using it to make mummy cookies and monster cookies, I would suggest you double the recipe. But because we're not taking these cookies to work or anything, and it's the weekend, I'm just gonna do a single batch of this because I'm also making the ghost cookies and the copycat Reese's pumpkins. It's just gonna be too much otherwise. And I will also link all of the recipes down in the info box below so you can find them from the original creators. I only have to type up the ghost cookie recipe because that is my grandma's cookie recipe. Let's start making these monster cookies. Okay, so for some reason my camera didn't record, which is a little bit upsetting, but okay. So I mixed the butter, the sugar, the cocoa, the egg, salt, baking powder, starch, baking soda, and vanilla into here, and I kind of like mix it with a spoon into crumbles because I don't like when the cocoa dusts everywhere. And the recipe says to use 43 grams of black cocoa. I don't have black cocoa, so I just used regular baking cocoa, but it will still turn pretty dark. And I used 50 grams of baking cocoa instead of 43 grams of black cocoa. And I will just adjust the flour a little bit. And the recipe says to mix all the wet ingredients together and then mix the dry ingredients together separately. But when I test baked yesterday, I did it just like that, like I'm doing right now. I just leave the flour out that goes in last, and I mixed everything fluffy before, and that worked perfectly. The cookies are gonna turn out super soft. I like a soft baked cookie. Okay, so this is the consistency that you want. It should be like kind of fluffy. This is perfect. And now we're gonna add our flour in. I'm gonna take my scale again. And the recipe says to use 127 grams of flour, but since we added more cocoa, I'm only gonna add 120 grams of flour, so the cookies will be nice and soft and moist. That's 110, 17, 120. And now we're just gonna incorporate it with our spatula. We're not gonna use the hand mixer. I find that otherwise they turn out kind of cakey and I don't like that so much. This is the consistency that you want. It can be still a little bit sticky, but should be pretty thick. We're gonna take half of this dough now and add it into this little bowl here. That's gonna be our mummy cookie dough in this little bowl because this doesn't have any add-ins. And the add-ins are gonna be in here, white chocolate chunks. If you want it to be easier to work with, like less sticky, just let it chill for like half an hour and then it's gonna be perfect and very easy to work with. So this is about half. I will put a cling film over this and then put it into the fridge. And we're gonna let this chill for half an hour, and then now we're gonna put the white chocolate chunks in here. And for the monster cookies, we also need these M&M minis. or just some chocolate drops that are colored. I would love to use the M&M Halloween, but they don't sell them here where I live. So I'm gonna use those and just pick out like red and yellow probably. And then here maybe orange as well. And then here are the white chocolate chunks that I'm gonna use for these monster cookies. I'm gonna put half of these in here now, and then we'll see how much more we need. Just adding some more. Maybe not the whole pack though. Okay, and then this will also go to the fridge and chill for half an hour. Okay, so next up we're gonna do the ghost cookies, and they're filled with jam. I got the idea from Pinterest, and on Pinterest they filled them with like strawberry or raspberry jam, some definitely red jam, but I want to use some blueberry jam. So the eyes and the mouth will be kind of like blackish, purplish. I think it would look like very creepy and very fitting for a ghost. And I will type the recipe that I'm using here up for you guys. I will type the full recipe for you up, but I am gonna use half of it just because I don't want like a bunch of cookies. It's a pretty easy recipe. So we're gonna start by using 1 pack of vanilla sugar. I have self-made one in my pantry as well, but I'm gonna use the one from the pack right here. If you don't have vanilla sugar, you can just mix like a little bit of vanilla with some sugar. It will be the same thing. 1 pack is 8 grams. And now I have added 3 tablespoons of granulated sugar and 65 grams of butter because I'm doing half the recipe. And now what we need is 2 egg yolks. And if a recipe calls for only egg yolks, you can actually freeze the egg white. I do that all the time when a recipe calls for only egg yolks. I just freeze the egg whites, and then I write on the Ziploc bag how much is in there. And then I can use it further for baking, or you can like whip up some just egg whites in a pan. I just wash my hands, and now we're gonna mix it a little bit fluffy. Okay, that's the perfect consistency. You can also see that it gets kind of like airy and lighter in color when it's the right consistency. And it just should be like some frosting type of consistency, kind of fluffy and airy. Now we have to add our flour. We need 125 grams of flour. That's perfect. And now we're just gonna mix it again. And this dough will be a little bit sticky until it's cool, or until you have worked it with some more flour on your countertop. But if you cool it, then usually it's very nice to work with. Should be a nice homogeneous dough ball. And this is how the dough ball should look. It should be very smooth. And now we're gonna put some cling film over this and then cool it for at least half an hour to an hour. Okay, so while the dough balls are cooling, we are gonna continue with the Copycat Reese's peanut butter pumpkins. Although I'm not gonna make pumpkin shapes because I simply cannot find my cookie cutter, and I am too lazy to cut out like a template or something. So what we are gonna do is we are gonna use these leaf cookie cutters because I think they're super cute as well. And I am also gonna do half of the recipe. And in hindsight, I should have probably started with the powdered sugar because I'm gonna need this cup right now as well. And now everything's gonna stick to it. So we're gonna use, in recipe it says half a cup. Since I'm making half of the recipe, I'm gonna use half a cup. Okay, it didn't stick too bad to the cup, that's good. And now we need, the recipe says 1/4 of a cup, but since we're halving it, I'm gonna do half of 1/4. I think it's maybe 1/8 of a cup, but I'm just gonna use this 1/4 of a cup and just fill it up half with maple syrup. And it says to use creamy peanut butter, but I don't have creamy peanut butter at home. I only have crunchy peanut butter at home, so I use that. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I don't understand though how we're supposed to roll it out because it's kind of like sticky. Maybe you have to cool it before, I don't know. I should have checked that before. The more I work it, the less sticky it is getting. I will just check shortly. But yeah, it's not sticky. Okay, so I think we did it right. So I'm just gonna put some powdered sugar here now, because we're gonna roll this dough out. I don't want to use flour because then it will taste like floury. It's a pretty nice like dough consistency, although it's not really a dough. Actually, it doesn't stick at all. That's nice. I think this is about the thickness of a Reese's like figurine, pumpkin, whatever. Oh, okay. Wow, that's not too bad. Not too bad. The problem is that I use crunchy peanut butter, not creamy. So you have like peanuts when you're like trying to cut out the cookies. That's a nice leaf shape. I love that. And it has a good thickness too, I think. So this is what it's supposed to look like. So you can learn from my mistakes and use creamy peanut butter instead of crunchy, although I do think that crunchy still works. Wow, that's so pretty. That's a nice thickness. Oh wow. Oh wow, that's so nice. And actually these have perfect size also for like snacking and stuff. Okay, so this is my last like kind of piece that's left. I'm just gonna push it into this cookie dough stamp here and then push it out. If you use powdered sugar to roll it out, definitely use it kind of sparsely because it does make the dough more brittle, and so you run on danger on them like cracking or something. But this turned out perfect. And we got 19 of those shapes out of half of the dough. These are not very big, they're like as big as my little finger, but I think they are perfect size for like snacking and stuff. I'm gonna clean up here now before we continue to put these in the chocolate. Okay, how cute do these cookies look? I put the mummy cookies here to cool down. They're now completely cool and we're gonna care for them in a second. We're still missing like the bandages, which we're gonna do with white chocolate. Then here are the monster cookies. I think they look so cute. Really spooky. I like it also with the like green sprinkles. I wasn't sure if these chocolate drops were gonna be oven safe so that they wouldn't melt, but they are. And if I had known this, then I would have just dipped like the cookie bowl in the chocolate drops. But you can also add them afterwards if you don't have oven safe ones. You just have to be really quick, otherwise they will not stick to the cookie anymore. And you really have to like press it in. But I think these turned out so cute. And so the last thing that we still have to do besides decorating the mummy cookies is our ghost cookies. The dough is really nice and cool now. It's nice and firm, so now it's really good to work with and it's not sticky anymore. I'm gonna roll it out. I would say I'm rolling it like half a centimeter thick or a few millimeters only. I'm really bad at like guessing how thick it is. Just make sure it's kind of even. Okay, we don't want them too thick because they're gonna be like a double layer cookie since we're filling them with blueberry jam. And now we're gonna take a heart-shaped cookie cutter and we're gonna cut out a cookie. Take our knife and I think you like have to cut in the middle kind of, and then bend the end a little bit like this. And then these are our ghosts. And now we're taking this piping tip and we're gonna cut out 1, 2, so the eyes, and then the big hole should be for the mouth. How cute is that? Oh my god, that is so cute. Okay, one more time. 1, 2, 3. So cute. A trick my grandma showed me is you basically take a knife and like slide it under, because these are getting warm since it's kind of warm in here, and then they come off easier. And don't forget, because this is a layered cookie, so we will put a ghost shape down below as well. We have to cut the bottoms out. And you just like have to kind of match. They don't have to be perfect. And we're gonna fill them with the jam afterwards. Okay, so this is our first tray. I think we will get maybe a second one. Make sure that you have for every top also a matching bottom. And they will go in the oven now for 10 minutes at 180. Just make sure that you press it down slightly, but not too hard, otherwise it's gonna break like this one did. It does look kind of cool though, but if you don't want them broken, then definitely press down only lightly so the jam comes through. The biggest amount of the jam should be on the head, of course, where the face is, but try to spread it like kind of evenly though. This is my homemade blueberry jam, so I like my blueberry jam kind of like chunky, so not very smooth. So this is why there are like blueberry parts in here. So cute. And the distortion of the face happened is when I like transferred it, but I actually think it makes it look even more spooky. So cute. Okay, so these are all the cookies, or Halloween treats I should say, that we have made today. These still need to dry, like the chocolate needs to dry. So I'm gonna let those dry for the rest of the evening probably. Then here are the copycat Reese's. These are so good. I've tried them and they legit taste very, very similar. Then here are the ghosties. I think these are turned out so cute. This one and I think this one are my favorites. And I'm really glad that I made only half the recipe of everything, because otherwise it would have been way too much. Unless you're going to a Halloween party or you're throwing one. But I just love these monster cookies. They look so cute. And these mummy cookies as well. They're just so perfect. And when you're decorating them with the white chocolate, I would recommend using like the Ziploc bag and then cutting a hole in a corner. But it also works if you're just doing it with the spoon. I was just too lazy to use the Ziploc bag. But I think this one is my favorite. But they turned out so cute as well. I feel very proud that we accomplished this within a mere couple of hours. So if you have made it this far, then thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate every single one of you. If you're gonna try one of the recipes that I showed you here today, definitely let me know how you liked them and how they turned out. I honestly can't point out a favorite right now. I love all of them. Also, tag me on Instagram here if you recreate these, and so I can see your creations. If you like videos like this, then please consider subscribing. And with that being said, thanks again so much for watching and being here. I hope you have the most amazing day. Never forget, you are worthy, you are loved, and I hope to see you back on my channel next time. Bye!